Hey there YouTube. Just want to give a quick update to clutch number 1 of the 2020 season. We had a lot of issues with this clutch. It incubated perfectly fine, but when things started pipping out, that's where the issues came up. So there was no temp problems, there was no humidity problems, but for some reason on day 57, one of the hatchlings pipped, and almost immediately after pipping, it departed the egg, which is unusual already. I put cameras in my incubator and I watch just about every single clutch I can. So I've gotten pretty familiar with what's normal, what's not normal. Well, I'll show you. I'll show you here in a minute. But one pipped on day 57 and came out, departed from its yolk. The next pipper wasn't for 2.5 days later. So the first one definitely pipped early compared to the rest of the clutch. I'm not entirely sure why. It was the middle egg. So I don't know if there's any issues that was affecting the outside eggs. But middle one came out 2.5 days early. Then 2 more pipped. One of which I found after cutting actually had a wrapped umbilical, and I didn't notice. I should have. I did an egg cutting video of this whole clutch, and it was fine at that time. And then I had hit another egg where it had a deformed baby, and it didn't make it. It was too deformed. So only 3 of them survived. I should have at that point noticed the wrapped umbilical, but when I saw how tiny that baby was, and I saw the yolk was still in the egg, and that was, I mean, that was day 60 going into day 60. Actually, it was day 60. As soon as I saw that yolk in there, I just put the egg right back. I'd only made a tiny hole, just enough to see what was going on, and I put it right back into the incubator. Didn't think anything of it. I just thought, because everything was so delayed, that it was underdeveloped. It wasn't done absorbing. But I should have opened it wider, took a better look at it, and figured out why. I don't know why I went against what I normally do there. So anytime you're cutting and you have multiple peppers and you see yolk, a significant amount of yolk like I did, there's got to be a reason why. Something's twisted or knotted, or it's not getting the nutrients somehow. You shouldn't see that much yolk on day 60, 61 when everybody else is absorbed. So lesson learned on that. It's too bad because the deformed one and the one with the twist umbilical, of course, were the 2 best animals in the clutch. One was definitely a GHI blade, lesser, so it was all 3 genes, and in case I didn't say it, it was a lesser blade clown to GHI clutch, and yeah, so it was a lesser blade GHI het clown that passed, and a lesser GHI het clown. But here's what's left. I'm going to go ahead and go through these one at a time. I will still give shout outs. I was supposed to give shout outs on the egg cutting video, but I did write down which came out of which egg. So this one, it's a little vicious thing, keeps trying to bite me. At first when I saw it, I thought it may be a blade when I saw it in egg, because I saw its tail end and all that blushing. So there's almost a ringer on the tail there. Really nice blushing throughout the whole animal, but not a blade that I can tell unless it's a super busy one. Doesn't look like any of the blades I've hatched out in the past. So chalking this one up to, it's just, I don't know, maybe a dinker het clown. Just a het clown with some really cool pattern to it. So let me look at my stuff. What was this one? This was egg number 5, which was Alyssa Pierce. She's from Dragon Eye Exotics. And I believe she is on Facebook. Not sure if she has an Instagram or a YouTube, but she's at least on Facebook. So that one's kind of cool. The baby that left its egg early is super tiny. You may have seen my pictures if you're on my Facebook page or on my Instagram. Not the smallest baby I've hatched, but pretty darn close. This is a lesser blade het clown. Let's see its pattern there. Pretty little baby. I'm not going to mess with this one too much because it is so tiny. And you can't see, but the other one is trying to come out at me. The other lesser in the clutch. So this one was egg number 3, which is Jake at JSM Reptiles. And he is at JSM Reptiles on Instagram. So check him out. I've not sexed these. I probe. So I always wait till after they've had their first meal. Sometimes if there's somebody that's really interested in an animal, sometimes I'll pop it early, but I just don't like to. With probing, there is a lot of finesse to it. It takes a little bit more of a careful hand than popping, but it's 100%. I know if I probed it female, it is a female. Popping, sometimes males will hold back their hemipenes, and you can end up misidentifying it, or if you, just like with probing, there is you just got to be careful, because if you pop too early or you pop too rough too early, you can actually cause a hemipene issue or a prolapse. When they're this little, they don't have that muscle to hold everything in. Pop too hard, it might end up getting stuck out or end up tearing something. Probing, you do have an issue where you could put the probe in too hard or too fast, and you can actually puncture on the inside. But if you're very careful, it's a really effective way of sexing snakes, especially when they get big. Okay, put this one back. So this one, when I first saw it, I thought it was a lesser GHI het clown, but now that it's out, I'm not seeing GHI. I don't know what a low expression GHI lesser would look like. I mean, I'd seen some lesser GHIs on Morph Market that I didn't think I was really seeing GHI in, because they had open alien heads instead of those being all dirty like GHI usually does. But this thing is crazy. Look at that. Super high contrast compared to the last one. So I know this is probably just a lesser blade het clown. But look at that. If that's what it is, then it's probably one of the craziest ones I've made. I made one last year that was pretty funky like this, but I don't think the alien heads were that spaced out. This one's super curious. Really nice. Not taggy like its sibling. So there you go. And this one was, who was it? This one I believe is Ricky Spears. It is. This is egg number 4. It was Ricky Spears. He's at BMF Balls. BMF is, I believe, Bad Motherfucker or Bad Motherfucking Balls. Don't know if YouTube will censor that, so whatever. And he's brand new. He's gotten snake from me before. He's got a really cool collection, so he'll be probably breeding next year, possibly even this upcoming season. So yeah, that's the clutch. I never complain about a clutch that has live babies. It's a huge bummer to lose the best animal in the clutch, or best two animals in the clutch. But live babies, first of 2020. I know a lot of people are having issues right now. Lots of bad clutches coming out all of a sudden. All I can say is that it just goes along with the year. 2020 has been a rough year. All I can hope for is that the rest of the clutches in the incubator are okay. I just want to see healthy babies come out. Doesn't matter if they're normals. I'd rather have a bunch of healthy normals than a bunch of kinked up 5-gene animals. But it is what it is. So I hope everybody else is doing okay and not having too many bummer clutches. And look forward to seeing what you guys produce this year, and hope I can show some cooler stuff later. I do have the 2 clutches of bamboo clowns. The next one to pip ought to be the bamboo clown. It was a head-to-head pairing though, so fingers crossed on that one. Yeah, so I'll let you guys go, and I'll see you next time. Bye, YouTube.